This is a very interesting little gun. Comes in a few different calibers and quite a few different configurations, and we're going to talk about all that. This one is more designed for PDW, personal defense weapon, and suppressors. As you can see, there's no muzzle device on here. It is literally just a thread protector. And that is so, if you have a suppressor, you put one on. So with the CMMG Banshee, guys, obviously we're not going to build this because it's already built, but I'm going to be doing a customization series with this. And basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go through here and I'm going to be swapping out parts that I think could be improved upon, or adding parts kind of like this front hand stop here, that I think should be on here. And maybe we'll do some Cerakote in the future. Maybe not. They got 4 different calibers. They got 9mm and 45 ACP. Those are both compatible with Glock magazines. They also have a 22 long rifle as well as 300 blackout. And they come with 3 different barrel lengths. They have the 5-inch barrels, which is the 9mm and 45 ACPs. They got the 4.5-inch barrels, which are the 22 long rifles. Then they have the 8-inch barrels, which are the 300 blackouts. And they come in a bunch of different configurations. You can get them as pistols or factory SBRs, all kinds of crazy stuff. So let's just dive up close. Let's take a look at the CMMG Banshee, figure out what it's all about. At the very end, we'll start talking about possible modifications that I'll have coming for this. All right, guys, so here is the secret that I've been hiding from you for the past month. And like I said earlier, it's the CMMG Banshee. And, they got a ton of different options and models available that I mentioned earlier. All these different Cerakote options, which I'll mention towards the end. Right off the bat, I believe that this one comes in the gunmetal gray. That's the Cerakote option that I chose. Has a 5-inch barrel. There isn't a muzzle device on there. There is a thread protector. It's 1/2 by 28 threaded. And this is, like I mentioned earlier, is designed for suppressor use, although I don't have a suppressor yet. The mag release is just like it was on the guard. You got a Magpul Mo grip, and you got the Gearhead Works Mod 2 tail hook brace. And with this brace, it just pops out like this, and your arm fits right through it. It's 5-position adjustable, or you can close it up right here and put it on your cheek. And so that is a very nice brace. However, I just got another brace that I think beats this one because it's cheaper and better, but that's just my opinion right now. They've made this fully ambidextrous. So you'll notice, except for the bolt release, but there is a way around that, which we'll talk about later. For the controls here, you got an ambidextrous safety that can be seen on both sides. You also have the ambidextrous charging handle, which is really nice. It kind of reminds me of one of those Raptor ones, but this is actually the CMMG one. The sights don't come with it. These are some plastic sights that I added in the red dot that I added. I also have already added this thing called a Vendetta Precision hand stop, and they reached out to me on Instagram, sent this out to me, and I told them I was going to be putting it on a project that they couldn't know about, and I put it on here, and it's a really nice. They got all kinds of different anodized colors as well. So definitely like that. The trigger in it, this is all mil-spec parts. It is a mil-spec trigger. Nothing fancy there with the Magpul Mo grip. It's not the Mo Plus, so therefore it's not the grippier rubberized one. Now let's just take this apart real quick. I actually haven't even taken it apart since we went to the range with it. So there's the upper receiver. What's cool about this is if you already have like a Glock Mag 9mm lower, you can buy just the upper receiver if you don't want to purchase the whole thing. You could buy this complete upper right here. I don't remember the price, but you can get the complete uppers and then put it on your own 9mm lower. Now let's take a look at the bolt carrier group, because this is what's the biggest thing about it. The bolt carrier is what makes this a lot more different than any other 9mm AR platform. So this is the one from Angstad Arms. You can see there's no gas port there. And this one doesn't have a gas tube either because these are direct blowback. However, usually you don't even have the cam on the front. You'll notice that on the Angstad Arms, there's no cam on the front. That's just the ejector and extractor. Very much like a standard AR-15, everything, but it is spring-loaded. And this is part of their radial delay blowback right here. So you push it in, it pops itself out. And what radial delay blowback essentially is because we're using such short barrels, after that round fires, there is a brief little delay before this starts cycling. And what that does is it allows all the powder to burn up. It allows the bullet to fully exit the barrel before it starts backing out, because what will happen is if it moves prematurely, you will lose some of your back pressure, which will lower the velocities of the bullet, and it helps it be more reliable. Another cool thing about this bolt carrier, now I haven't had any cycling issues. I've used quite a few different types of ammo. I haven't used all of them, but I've used quite a few different ones. They have a tuning kit, and it's a series of weights that you can put back into here. So if you're having cycling issues, you can get that tuning kit. I think they're only like $25 on their website. There'll be more information at my blog post, but I'll put a link to my blog post below. That way you can find more information about all this stuff. But it essentially adds weight, because usually when you're having cycling issues, it's usually due to your buffer spring or the weight of your buffer. But because there's very few different spring weights and buffer weights, this is another little option. So this would probably be your first thing that you would look at if you're having any cycling issues, would be to get that tuning kit and make sure that everything's running great. But like I said, I haven't had any issues and everything is running great, just right out of the box. Even though this isn't a gas key, the pseudo gas key is properly staked, but otherwise it's basically looks just like your standard mil-spec AR-15 bolt carrier group. So that's all the, the tech specs and stuff out of the way. Let's jump up top real quick. We're going to talk about the different Cerakote options that's available for this. We're going to talk about what kind of modifications I'm going to be doing to this. And then I'll give you guys my opinion about this and whether or not I think it's a win or lose. Back up top is the up close and personal look at the CMMG Banshee. And guys, I gotta just be really honest with you. As you could see in the beginning of the video, you saw how easy this gun was to shoot fast. Like I showed you up close, it's actually a lot smaller than the Angstadt Arms AR9, but given that this, for a 6-inch barrel, whereas this one's like a 5-inch barrel. So, and this one has a muzzle device on it that's about that long. But from what I could see, just looking at it up close, even the upper receiver seems to be a little bit shorter. So that's very awesome. Very, very well balanced. And like I was explaining with the radial delay blowback, is a dream to shoot. Because I didn't know what to expect, because I've never fired a 9mm carbine that didn't have any type of muzzle device, flash hider, or whatever. But as you could see in the footage, man, like it just boom, boom, boom. And it's an OEM trigger. So that's really cool. Now, as far as some possible upgrades that we'll be doing to this moving forward, definitely the trigger. This is a mil-spec trigger. Although it's not bad, it could be way better. So definitely gonna be doing a trigger. The red dot on here is my stand-in red dot. This red dot is just something that has a QD mount. And so I just take it on and off a bunch of different guns. That way I can just slap it on something real fast so I can go out and test it. The sights that are on it, these actually came off the shotgun because, as I told you guys, I'm taking the rail off of the shotgun and going a different direction with it. And if you want more information, about the CMMG Banshee, the red dots or the sights, or the possible upgrades I'm going to be doing, there will be a blog post, and I'll link to it down in the description below, where you can find coupon codes and links to all kinds of cool stuff. That way, it's just there for you. The one thing that really makes this one a little bit different from the CMMG Guard is you can get multiple different Cerakote options at no extra charge. I believe this one is their gunmetal gray. You can also get it in sniper gray, flat dark earth, burnt bronze, bazooka green, slate, titanium, snow white, OD green, and graphite black. So, tons of different colors. You can buy them as a factory SBR, fill out the NFA paperwork, wait 10 months for your stamp to come back, and you can get one that's a short barrel rifle. Back when this tail hook first came out, this was actually a big game changer as far as the way that pistol braces work. Comes out and works like that. And as a brace, it does feel nice. So it's a 5-position adjustable brace, but it's not so much of a game changer now because, as you guys saw in my 10.5-inch AR-15 pistol build, the new SB Tactical A3 brace is out, and this thing is a lot more comfortable if it so happens to hit your shoulder. It's got a little bit more give to it than the hard plastic. So I do got to give the comfortability to the SB A3, and it's a lot cheaper than the Gearhead Works tail hook. The Magpul grip, it's plastic. I will probably be upgrading this plastic grip. Yes, it is Magpul. It's a good grip, but I like something that has a little more texture or a little more ergonomics to it. So we'll see what we can find for this. The ambidextrous charging handle is amazing. I like ambi charging handles in general, just because sometimes when you're shooting, you just want to reach and just do like that instead of having to reach over. So I love ambi charging handles, and this one is no exception. They definitely killed it. Aside from your bolt release, it's fully ambidextrous. You got your ambidextrous safety charging handle. You could add probably a bad lever to this and make it completely ambidextrous if that's something you wanted to do. But yeah, I gotta say, with a 19.5-inch overall length, This thing is amazing. And I just want to give a big shout out to CMMG for, giving me the opportunity to even review this, because they really knocked it out of the park. And the looks don't do it justice. The video doesn't do it justice. Once you get out on the range and start firing this thing, it literally feels amazing. That radial delay blowback, I thought it was kind of a gimmick at first, but there's really something to it. And it really adds a level of refinement and balance that just isn't found in other pistol caliber carbines. Even my Angstadt arms. Now, this is a very well balanced pistol as well. However, I don't know what it would shoot like without the muzzle brake on it, because that does mitigate a lot of the recoil. But I will say, typically with smaller guns, smaller, shorter barrels, they're a little less controllable than with longer barrels and these. And I will say this one is a little bit more controllable than this one, despite that this one is smaller and doesn't even have a muzzle device. The little Vendetta Precision hand stop up here, this thing is pretty awesome. They have a ton of different colors. They just sent this out to me, and I told them I was going to be throwing it onto something that I couldn't tell them about. But it really helps, at hooking your finger in so you don't, slide out in front. Now, with that being said, there is a little bit of a stop lip down here. So if you don't have one, your hand won't slide out in front of the muzzle while you're shooting. So those are all great things, guys. Overall, I will say this, this is about the same price as this build, or maybe even a little bit less. And it comes Cerakoted and accepts Glock Mags, and it comes with this cool adjustable pistol brace. For the higher end pistol caliber carbines, I give this a 100% win. It just runs like a champ. Ever since I pulled it out of the box, I haven't had one single malfunction. And like I mentioned when we were up close, if you do have any issues, you can get that little adjustment tuning kit. And I think the tuning kit for the bolt carrier is only like $25. So it's actually not that expensive if you're having issues. Let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know down in the comments section below. What's your favorite pistol caliber carbine? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely would you be to save up and buy the CMMG Banshee? Just let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback. If you like this video, just go ahead and kick the like